Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are doing this NBA predictions pick'em challenge. So basically, we have 16 questions here presented by the National Basketball Association about the upcoming NBA season. And yeah, I'm gonna give you guys my best predictions. I guess like if you get them right, you can like win prizes. Although I don't seem to ever win these things, because even if I did, I feel like I still wouldn't get my prize, man. Like I feel like I get all these right, and I would just never get that email. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, before we get going on today's video, if you guys don't mind leaving a like, 1,000 likes is always the goal, helps grow the channel, all that good stuff. And of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, man, give me your predictions to any of these questions in the comment section below. Let's go ahead, man, because we got a lot to talk about. So starting off, we have which team will win the NBA championship? That being the Bucks, Lakers, Nets, or others. So looking at the three teams listed, I can already kind of see like issues arising with all three of these teams. Now, obviously, any one of these teams can win it, but you look at the Bucks, and I do think the Bucks are going to have some fatigue issues this NBA season. Obviously, you know, winning the championship last year, that takes a lot out of you, man, and it takes being able to go to that next gear as a team to win, you know, back to back. But fact of the matter is that Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton were in the Olympics, not much of a rest time for them. So, you know, they'll be good next season. Don't get me wrong. You got Giannis, who's going to be rested and ready to go. But yeah, I just feel like that's something that could be an issue later on in the season. The Los Angeles Lakers, it's extremely early, and I'm not going to overreact to the preseason, but Russell Westbrook's not looked good, man. Like 18 turnovers in 2 games. Preseason, not that big a deal. Point guard on a new basketball team. It will sort itself out in time. But yeah, the Lakers, you could obviously see that they got some older players, right, man? You know, injuries could be an issue too. So, and then for the Nets, we don't really know what's going on with Kyrie. It sounds like he's not playing home games. That's kind of a big deal. Probably the one time in NBA history where you don't want home court advantage, right? As far as other goes, you know, a team that I could personally see winning it, my personal favorite, I think it's going to be a team that's going to remind a lot of people that, hey, remember us? Like, yeah, we're kind of a big deal, and that's the Golden State Warriors, man. So for me personally, it might be a hot take, but I have the Warriors winning the championship, man. I really think it's going to be one of those magical seasons for Steph Curry. Jordan Poole's going to hold things down until Klay Thompson's healthy and ready to go. So I have other, man. And it's locked in. Okay, next up we have, will the 2021-2022 MVP be a first-time winner? So I have a list on my other monitor over here, man. You know, of guys that I think could potentially win the MVP award. Obviously, you got, you know, Steph Curry. You got, I mean, Joel Embiid can win it for the first time. You got Giannis. You have James Harden's won in years past. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, guys like that. So, do I have like any like hot takes for guys that I think could potentially win the MVP for the first time? Obviously, Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic. You know, Luka Doncic could obviously win it. A hot take, I kind of have like 2 hot takes. I feel like Zach Levine could be a sneaky dark horse for MVP. Like if the Bulls are winning crazy amount of games, and you know, he's putting up scoring numbers like he did last, you know, 27 plus points per game, then yeah, he could be pretty damn. Yeah, that could be a candidate. Also, the Clippers with Paul George. If Paul George can go to that MVP level that he was with the OKC Thunder a few years ago, and keep the Clippers kind of in the running for a top 3 team in the Western Conference, that's another guy right there that I think could definitely win it. But when it's all said and done, I know I'm going to sound like, you know, a big Warriors lover here, but I have Steph Curry winning it, man. I feel like Steph Curry with Jordan Poole is going to show his value early on in the NBA season, you know, keep the team on track until Klay Thompson gets back, and yeah, he's going to continue putting up scoring numbers and all that good stuff, man. So will that be a first-time MVP winner? No, it will not. So I do not think it's going to be a first-time winner, man. I'm going to say no on that one. All right, next up we have who will win Defensive Player of the Year: Rudy Gobert, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, or other. So my mindset on this one right here is that you look at a few seasons ago when the Lakers won the championship. It's a big part of that was they were huge defensively with Dwight Howard, you know, JaVale McGee. Last season with Drummond, Marc Gasol kind of took a step back there. This season they do have Dwight Howard back, and I just think I just feel like having, you know, those certain paint protectors really excels a guy like Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis no longer has to be the only guy playing defense. He's a guy that can play elite defense, but also has these other guys that will make him look even better, right, man? It's important the teams around you, or the players around you when it comes defensively and everything. So I personally have AD winning it. I don't really have like an other in this category. Giannis, Rudy Gobert obviously gonna be in the running for that. You know, you get Draymond Green, maybe a Marcus Smart, but I think Anthony Davis wins Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm pretty confident about that one. Okay, moving on, man. we have, make sure this is all lined up good enough. We have who will win, actually one second here, man, make sure this all looks good. Okay, there we go, yeah, we're good. Who will win the Rookie of the Year award? Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, or other? So for my other category, I could see a guy like a Scotty Barnes or even a Jalen Suggs, you know, really coming out of nowhere. Even Cam Thomas, man. Like, if Cam Thomas is playing a lot more minutes because Kyrie's not playing in home games, that could be a really sleeper pick. But, you know, for me, I've said this before, Cade Cunningham, I think, is going to put up good all-around numbers, but I do think Jalen Green's going to put up the flashy numbers. He's going to score a lot of points. And when it comes to Rookie of the Year, you know, the voters, they like flashy players. Evan Mobley looks really good all around in the preseason and everything, especially this last game he played against the Bulls. But, you know, I do think Jalen Green's going to win it. I don't think Rookie of the Year in this case makes, just going to say like, oh, Jalen Green's going to be like better than like any player in this draft class. But I do think he wins Rookie of the Year. He's going to put up a lot of good scoring numbers in Houston, and, you know, people like that. So, yeah, I'm completely fine with saying Jalen Green. Like, I ain't going to be biased and say Cade Cunningham just to say it, right? Next up, we have which conference will the Coach of the Year be from? Okay, so... Damn, this one's pretty interesting. I'm looking at the standings real quick here. I don't really have, like, I guess hypothetically speaking, if I have the Warriors winning the championship and Klay Thompson's out, then if this team, you know, can be a top 3-4 team in the Western Conference, a lot of that is going to do with, you know, the coaching circumstances of Steve Kerr. So I'll go with Western Conference. Not complete. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of teams, you know, that, or a lot of coaches that can win it. 30 to be exact. But yeah, man. So that's just like a off the top of my head type of pick. Next up, we have which team will have the best record in the Eastern Conference. We got the Bucks, Nets, 76ers, or other. I don't really think there's an other in this category. I don't really see any of the other teams being like number one. I feel like one of these three teams is definitely the safe choice there. 76ers, I just don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons to have a good answer for that, so I don't think it's going to be the 76ers. Nets with no Kyrie is going to not be great. And then the Bucks, you know, the Bucks, I feel like their fatigue woes could show up more in the playoffs, but I think regular season they'll be on top. So I'm going to go with the Bucks, man. Pretty certain about that pick right there. Okay, we have which team will have the best record in the Western Conference? Sun, Jazz, Lakers, or other? The Jazz have proven to be a pretty good regular season team. They haven't really, like, done anything that made me think that they can't be that again next year. I do think the Suns could be a bit better, though, man. Like, the Suns, they were second place at 51 wins. They were just behind the Jazz. So it's a matter, do I feel like the Suns will take that next step, take that leap over the Jazz? CP3, obviously, being a year older doesn't help, but getting a good interior defender off the bench, JaVale McGee helps out. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, all those guys are going to be, you know, a year just more experienced and everything. So I don't think it's going to be the Lakers. I really don't. I think there's going to be some struggles early on in the season, but Jazz, Suns, I'm going to go with the Suns, man. I feel like the Suns very well could be first place in the Western Conference. I really think so. Which player will lead the league in scoring points per game? Thank you for clarifying. Steph Curry, Bradley Beal, Luka Doncic, other. My other category is, you know, I could see maybe a guy like Damian Lillard taking it, but Steph Curry, I think, is going to start off crazy with the scoring. I think it's going to maybe level out a little bit once Klay's back. Luka Doncic could win it, but we all know he's more about like the all-around game. Bradley Beal, there's no more Russell Westbrook. I feel like Dinwiddie is a nice fit next to Bradley Beal, but they're going to need his scoring. He's going to be doing a lot of scoring next year. I'm going to go with Bradley Beal. There we go. Which player will lead the league in assists? Luka Doncic, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, or other? I'm going to go with James Harden on this one. Not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Russell's playing with LeBron James, who handles the basketball a lot. And then, you know, Luka could obviously win it too, but I'm going to go with James Harden. Just feels like a good safe pick, especially if they're going to be leaning on him a little bit more in home games. Will the Nets win more than 56 games? Let's see, man. I don't think it's happening. That takes a lot. Like, best case scenario, you know, Kyrie playing every single game, no major injuries, in a heartbeat, I say yes. But Kevin Durant, James Harden have not played full seasons in a while. Once again, man, I feel like I'm a broken record here. Kyrie Irving's situation doesn't help. I don't think they win more than 56. That's a lot of games to win, man. That's a lot of games to win. I can see them being like a 50 to 52 win team, but 56, those 4 extra games. Will the Bucks win more than 55 games? So last year they won 48. Of course, that was in a shortened season. Man, 55 though. Once again, I kind of see them like just under 55. I can see them being like 53 wins. So yeah, in a way, this is kind of like the over-under game, which I plan to do in a video about in the very near future, by the way. But 55, 52, 53 feels more right to me. So I'm going to say no. Will the 76ers win 51 games? Last year, they were at 49 in a shortened season yet again. Joel Embiid obviously has the mentality, I think, to lead them to, you know, a 50-plus game season. Once again, if Ben Simmons is checked into playing with the Sixers again, then they could be a 50-plus win team. If they go out and get a really good player back in exchange for Ben Simmons, that helps out. If the trade package they get back is really bad, then that's going to hurt. But I think Joel Embiid good enough to save 51 games. I'm going to say yes on that. Will the Jazz win more than 53? Okay, this is interesting right here, man, because I have the Suns being number 1. So let's do the Suns first, winning more than 50 games. I'm going to say yes for the Suns because I have them with the best record. So that's essentially saying, do I think the Suns will win, 54 games if they have the best record? Meaning, will the Jazz win 53? I have the Suns around that 53, 54 win range, with the Jazz being just behind them around like maybe 50 to 52. So I'm going to go ahead and say no for that, but just barely missing that 53 win mark, man. Just barely missing it. There we go. And do I have the Lakers winning 53 games? I do not. I think injuries, chemistry, all that stuff's going to play a big-time factor. So I'm going to go ahead and say no on that. And then we have this final one right here, which it looks like it's locked or something, man. It looks like we already answered that, didn't we? Didn't we already answer that? Yeah, who will win the championship? We said other for that, man. So, yes, those are my picks for all these. I feel pretty confident about them. If I had to, quickly change anything, I guess maybe it could be the MVP. I could see Luka just going off crazy this year and winning it. Coach of the year, there's so many great coaches in the NBA, so that could definitely be one. The new coach, I forgot his name, is in Ime, I believe his name is, for the Boston Celtics. Like, the Celtics were not all that great last year, so what's going on? I was like, what's this big box right here, man? So like, the Celtics were not great last year, so if they can come back, have a really big bounce back season, you chalk it up to coaching also. But no, man, feel pretty good about these. You guys give me your thoughts and opinions about these in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree? Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.